It's a beautiful day in Dayton. First Friday of the night. I hope you get out. Courteous mass ride. You could probably ride even though it's cold, if you dress well, you could get out there and do it.
I was out walking this morning. It was 23 degrees and no hat because my girlfriend forgot her hat.
Oh.
Bad move.
Yes.
She says I'm a good boyfriend, though. So
that's very good. You warmed her head. Anyway, I thought you wanted to talk about investigative journalism. The Fourth Estate. Whatever that means. What does that mean? Do you know?
It means we're going to be in a lot of trouble if we had to depend on the Fourth Estate because newspapers are having a hard time keeping people employed because of the change in the internet, and we're not getting investigative journalism, although it's questionable whether it's been done in Dayton at all for a long time because people have been having the wool pulled over their eyes and the money pulled out of their pockets.
So has the loss of ad revenue been part of that problem?
That's a big part of it. I mean, you know,
is that the reason the Dayton Daily News is kind of going down, or something?
No,
like
I think the Dayton Daily News started its decline when they stopped actually publishing news.
But I would say that was the rise of the well, you're in advertising, aren't you? The rise of the advertising dollar influencing how they could be hamstrung by who they go after.
No.
That's why I always contention the last few days that it's easy to go after like public officials or some of these elected people because you can't go after your advertisers without offending them and dropping ad. So I would contend the Fourth Estate got wiped out by
corporate America.
Well, by ads and not relying on subscription dollars to fund their operation.
Well, see, the problem was it's been a long time since subscription dollars paid for a newspaper. In fact, even though the cost of printing has decreased exponentially, part of the problem is the distribution costs went up because remember Paper Boys?
Yeah, I remember I was one.
Yeah, me too. They're gone. We replaced them wholeheartedly. I mean, and what has developed is this big mechanism to distribute worthless newspapers, and the cost is borne mostly by advertisers, and advertisers weren't getting their money's worth, and people only want to put advertising in things that people want to read.
Well, advertising can come directly to your home, where we have to spend that money now.
But hold on, people want to read, and what they write about got boring. They have no problems writing about drug addicts shooting each other, because drug addicts don't buy any advertising. But they don't like even going after politicians because you realize what a shot in the arm the last presidential election was for major media outlets.
That may be true, but
it's huge.
It seems like if you were the Fourth Estate, you would want to get that going all the time. That's why you would go after entrenched politicians to get somebody to entice them to run to spend the advertising.
Yeah, but remember, the
incumbents
was the big money.
Yes, but the incumbents, going after incumbents would allow, if you actually, produce what they did. I mean, they canonized them here at the Dayton Daily News. I mean, Tony Hall was terrible as a congressman, and you couldn't.
He walked on water.
Yeah.
Dayton Daily News. He walked on water.
Mike
Turner walks on water.
It's the same thing. They canonized him. Canonized him. Terrible. Well, it's terrible for discourse, except for us.
Gives us something to talk about. But I've been following this thing with Qbase for quite a while. I think it's an amazing story how this guy goes out. He gets fired from Nexus as the president, gets fired from Gartner after like 7 months, and then starts this company up and gets all these really smart people to invest some money to own a part of it, and then gets the rest of the money from the tax dollars. And he's going to do all this
screw up, move up. No wonder they feel comfortable with each other.
He promised all these jobs for this investment, and what was interesting was I stumbled across like 17 people all giving $1,000 the same week. And none of these people had ever given money before, and they were all giving it to Congressman Steve Austria, by the way.
Campaign finance reform. We've talked about that the Dayton Daily looks at these things, but they don't go into the specifics of who gives.
No,
it's very interesting to study that, yes.
They might give you the name, but they never try to take the next step and say, why does this person give that much money? I mean, what did Jerry Tater get for $5,000 to Ryan McLean after Gary Lightsell hadn't even raised 10? You gotta wonder, what's the man buying?
Well, he's buying something. Investigative journalism.
So, anyways, I find this thing at Qbase. I'm like, all these people gave $1,000 all the same week, and I looked, and none of them had given money to anybody else except for Willard Pardue and his wife. That's awfully odd because people give $1,000 to one campaign, have usually given $250 or $500 to another, or something. Yeah. These people never gave a dime to anybody else. So I thought I had a story, and I published it. This was over a year ago. And somebody starts calling me up saying, oh, you don't even know the beginning of it. So I've been following up and following along and getting more leads from inside Qbase. And
so long story short, Dayton Daily published the news today.
they published the news after I went out to Xenia to get the court filing, because Greene County, even though they give $60,000 to Pardue's company, they can't afford to do PDFs on their own website for their court view. That's pathetic. Greene County, you might have a law and order prosecutor, but you can't run a website to save your life.
Well, he gives us the wine too. Foreign intelligence is another foreign intelligence. All right, cut that. We've had enough today.
Thank you.